global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to Global Happenings Today. We have a trending news for you, and the topic here reads: more trouble as 5 detained IPOB members as Biafrans who were on their way to Nnamdikanu's parents' burial have been charged to court, and hope not in sight. See details. It's really pathetic, but before we go straight into the news and further analysis, would you like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button below? Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, let's go straight into the news of the day. Actually, it's an update that the 5 detained Biafrans were charged to magistrate court as at this morning. Yesterday, we must recall that so many Biafrans who were attending the funeral of the parents of Nnamdikanu were ambushed and kidnapped before they could arrive at the venue by the Nigerian Army and police SARS, Isaiah Uba says. As the media team continued to scream for their release with clear evidence of how they were abducted, they quickly released them to the state CID and leveled various unfounded criminal charges against them. The 5 men who were on their way to Nnamdikanu's parents' burial, since they quickly identified themselves as the people of the indigenous people of Biafra, and they had actually wanted to attend their leaders' parents' burial, and these said guys waylaid them. And according to them, that these, as at today, the 5 men includes their names are Mr. Okeke Aweka 50 years, Mr. Chigbo Onuoha 34 years, Mr. Ikem Nnamdi 27 years, Mr. Paul Nweke 32 years, Mr. Agboso Goodwin 33 years. That's the driver. They were all dragged to the magistrate court in Afaraukwu with the criminal charges ranging from terrorism, kidnapping, hostage taking, possession of explosive weapons, and so on. But the magistrate court could not hear the case because it has no jurisdictions to handle such weighty case, and as such could not grant them bail. The case is expected to be heard at the High Court in the next day. The case was adjourned and they were all reprimanded in prison custody. This is really pathetic. This is amazing, really. I keep wondering how we have gotten to this level in Nigeria. Don't forget that it's still the same Boko Haram. Some days back that the Senate, one of the senators proposed a bill to give amnesty to Boko Haram who have killed, maimed, done all manner of evil against humanity, man's inhumanity against man, and they are willing to give them a comfortable and cushioning effect for killing their fellow man. And we kept on saying it in this channel that there's nothing really wrong people going to pay their last respect to a king, a late king. He had never been an evil king. Everyone recognized him as royalty. It doesn't take anything to allow them to pay their last respect, and they did. What's with the issue of terming them terrorism? What was that thing they did that it was terrorizing the environment, that they came to pay their last respect? They said they saw them with kidnapping. Who did they kidnap, really? Just woke up and gave allegation. That quickly reminded me of this issue of Moyole Sowore, when Sowore was in prison, was detained. That's the word. Was detained by DSS. Release him now. That actually the Sowore was busy mingling with terrorists. Who is the terrorist? The leader of IPOB member, that's Nnamdikanu, that is having affiliation. Really, so we keep hearing things that are very wonderful to the ears. And people are going to pay the last respect. You can see the old man, 50 years old man, they all driving their car to, okay, let's go pay last respect. And simply because they dare to mention that they are IPOB members, and the next thing is they are terrorists, they are kidnappers. What is the basis? What was the yardstick to which you used to arrive to the conclusion that they are the names you've called them? Well, this is really disheartening, really, and I do not know how they'll go about this. But if these allegations have been placed upon them, and they have not granted them bail, I think the offense generally is the fact that they came to pay the last respect to the late Eze Kano, Eze and Lolo, Sali Kano, for the. Yes, that's the last respect done. Maybe that's their crime, really, to come to pay respect. Because if they hadn't come to Afaraukwu to do that, I don't think anybody would have arrested them and called them terrorists or called them kidnappers, or called them bandits. They were seen with explosives. I don't know, why would anybody go to a burial with explosive? Were they expecting to be a war? Were they expecting that there will be a quarrel, a war of some sort? All these are things we're looking at here. The issue of the fact that I don't know how they got to this level of investigation, but I trust the fact that the DSS and the SARS, they know what they were doing. But I feel that I think we're looking at the wrong direction. For me, I feel that there's so much to be done, honestly. The North is suffering so much insurgencies. Going to pick up people who are going to pay last burial, last respect to their king. I don't think it's worth all these hassles. 5, and as we speak now, these 5 are still under detention. And if this continues this way, they may not be released even to the next 2 years. I bet you. Honestly, they may not be likely. What happened to Nnamdikanu may likely repeat here, but in this time around, Nnamdikanu here is the leader of the IPOB, that's Indigenous People of Biafra. So yes, to some extent, there may be some sort of rallying round to see that he's released. And these guys are not even coordinators of IPOB members either. So the typical example is the coordinator that was detained in South Africa during the xenophobic attack, and when there was a match when the president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, traveled down to South Africa, and they had a peaceful march in South Africa where they were tear gassed and all that. They had to detain the coordinator of IPOB member then in South Africa. The lawyers in IPOB rallied around and saw to it that he was released unconditionally, because he has done no wrong going out for a peaceful protest. And that's the same thing I'm expecting here, that since he has done no wrong, since they have done no, these are five men we're talking about, since they have done no wrong in going to pay the last respect to their leader's parents, I see no reason why they should be detained, really. As I see that, I don't see any crime they have done in going to pay the last respect, and are giving them such witty allegations like terrorism, like kidnap. Who were they kidnapping? Were they kidnapping the dead? Was it that they are going to pick the dead body? Were they trying to kidnap the dead body of Nnamdikanu's parents? Was that really what they were going for? So how did they know that they were kidnappers? And you call them bandits? What was that thing they were stealing? That you make them, you call them the bandit, terrorists, and all that. But these are things that gets me worried. Really, it's worrisome. Honestly, I fear for their safety. I fear for their long stay in detention. The truth is, they may not be like Sowore. They may have international outlook here, and judging the fact that also that the Nigerian government has already proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, they may likely want to say that these are terrorists trying to, which they know may not really be true, but then that's probably what they will use to, you can imagine people are going to pay last respect. They've already said that they're terrorists. How did you know that? And you say they're kidnappers. Have they kidnapped anyone that you give them such heavy weight? Is that not the same name they gave to Sowore during his time? And probably even worse, if not for the fact that international bodies had to come into play, Sowore will still be languishing in detention till today. And I fear that may be the same verdict, the same situation they may face, being the fact that they may not be known people, quote unquote, they may not be international figures. So they may just, these 5 people they pick, they will just quietly and gently languish them, live 2 years, they're still probably on this case, and they may not, and if it is without bail, I fear for the outcome. And even when the bail may come, may be outrageous. And this is really disheartening. Honestly, in situations where the real terrorists are are given freedom to bomb, kill, and still be given amnesty for doing that. And these are guys who said, look, they want freedom. And it's not even like they're even going there for agitation. They didn't even go there to demonstrate or agitate for anything. They just said they want to go and pay last respect to their leaders' parents. That's all. There was no form of demonstration. There was no form of fight. Why would they want to pick them up? Why would you want to tell them that they're terrorists? Why would you want to tell them? And okay, now that you've found out that these guys actually went just there to pay their last respect, why not release them? Why charge them to court? Why give them such heavy weight? You can imagine as we speak, they're still in detention until when the next court case will be, the court hearing will be ongoing. It has been adjourned, but the problem now is it is without bail. I mean, these 5 set of persons, which actually their 1-day trip, probably 2-day trip max, has become from there to prison, and it may be ongoing. I feel for them. I don't know how. Unfortunately, Geoffrey, the lawyer of IPOB member, had himself to. At some point, they were looking for him to over some issues of security, and at some point in the beat of we didn't carry it in our channel, but yes, we are aware of the fact that all those issues of police coming after him and all that, all in this circle of IPOB, restoration of Biafra and all that. So the whole thing is getting all messed up. Who will probably represent them? Maybe they will have to get a lawyer somehow who will do that. But honestly, the fact that they are proscribed IPOB will make it a bit dicey. But the truth is, these guys have rights, and they have done, to me, they have done no wrong in going to pay their last respect. And I feel this is getting, the intimidation is getting out of hand bit by bit. I feel justice should be done. If they are free, please let them go. If they are not terrorists, let them go. Don't give them tax that are quite heavy. Fulani herdsmen ought to be prescribed up till now, but they're working freely without that name terrorist, even though the world knows they are terrorists. They've killed not a lot of persons. They have made public pronouncement to show that they don't mind doing what is in their mind, as in destroying and maiming people without restrictions, and yet they've not been prescribed. And yet these guys, all they wanted is secession, and they have not even agitated. All they wanted was to even pay last respect to the dead. That was all. And you call them terrorists, you give them all manner of name tags. These are reasons why people actually form terrorism. They have not done it, you have already given them. When they do, what will you do to them? That's why we have in this situation we're in Nigeria, giving people names that they don't belong, giving people names that they don't deserve. By the time they begin to display that name, you begin to say, yes, we said it, we call them that name, because you have called them. The Bible says, so call those things that be not as though they are, they will become. You keep calling them terrorists. They've done you no harm. Just to pay last respect. Wouldn't you just allow them to pay their last respect and move on? This is not even the time for agitation. They only came to pay their last respect. Why not let them go? That's my take on this. What's your take? Let's go to our comment section. What do you think will be the fate of these 5 young men who have decided to pay their last respect in Afaraukwu, have ended up being termed terrorists, being termed kidnappers, bandits, and they have found their way behind bars without bail, and they've been charged to court. The next court hearing has been adjourned. Dates have not been pronounced yet, but we do feel for them.